In this video, I'm going to talk you through a beat I've made with Serato Sample. I'm using Ableton Live, but Serato Sample also officially supports FL Studio, Machine, Logic, and should also work with any other DAW that supports VSTs or AUs. Alright, for this first beat, I've decided to use three of my favorite tracks: Golden by Jill Scott, Ain't No Sunshine by Bill Withers, and Think by Lynn Collins. I really liked the chords in the Jill Scott track and wanted to use them for the bass for my beat. For the first instance of Serato Sample, I loaded up the Golden track and I set my master BPM in Ableton to 101. Serato Sample is in sync mode, so it also plays Golden at the same BPM. I like the chords in the beginning of the song, but I only wanted certain parts in between the drums. So I used Set Slicer to get 16 chops. Once I was good with the slices, I created favorites for each pad I wanted to record in MIDI. I also changed the global key for the track down by -7 semitones to adjust the sound and feel of the chord slices. I then recorded playing the cue points on my MIDI controller into Ableton. I then quantized the MIDI notes and went back to Serato Sample to make adjustments to the filter and release. I also changed the play mode from hold to trigger. With another instance of Serato Sample on a MIDI track in Ableton, I loaded up Ain't No Sunshine. Because these two tracks are not in the same key, I transposed Ain't No Sunshine by changing the global key to be the same as Golden. I then used Find Samples to see what cue points it would give me. I found a couple things that I liked, so I made sure to favorite them. One of the favorites was a small vocal part that I wanted to use in the beat as texture, so I adjusted the filter and the release to give it the sound that I wanted. I also found a nice bass note in the track that I wanted to use to create a bass line. I created some different cue points on the same bass note, and I used key shift to pitch the individual cue points to match the key of the Golden track. I used my MIDI controller to record my playing of the cue points into Ableton and then quantize the notes. With another instance of Serato Sample, I loaded up the Think track. With this track, I knew I wanted to use the tambourines and a small vocal part. I used my MIDI controller to record me playing the cue points into Ableton and then quantize the notes. And with all these parts, I began to sequence my beat. If you want to learn more, go to support.serato.com.